Ray Dalio, the famed billionaire hedge fund investor, always said, you can have anything you want, but not everything. So you better pick. Watch this video for the 3 steps that I followed to answer the age-old question for myself. What do you want to do with your life? Intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Unstoppable Sunday. I'm TK, author of the book, How to Punch the Sunday Jitters in the Face, Entrepreneur and Angel Investor. I help high achievers like you live more proactively and become unstoppable through belief and discipline. Subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon if you haven't already, because I drop an episode like this every single Sunday with this energy. If you're feeling a bit overwhelmed and can't quite figure out what to do with the 79 years the average human being is given, by the end of this video, I'm gonna give you 3 steps to follow that'll help you figure out what you want out of life. I've used this technique whenever I made massive changes in my life. And by using this technique, I've been able to get clarity into what I want to spend my life on, what goals to go after, what mission to go after. I've quit jobs that I didn't like. I've started companies, scaled companies, raised venture capital, sold companies, and it's helped me unlock a decade plus of personal and business success. So step number 1 to figure out what you want to do with your life is to create the space. So often, especially earlier on in my career, I was so busy doing. I just didn't even have the time to slow it all down and think strategically about what I want to do with my life. I was too busy living a reactive mindset instead of a proactive mindset. And it wasn't until I started to really slow things down on a Sunday afternoon and started to really think about what's working and what's not, and where do I want to take things and what do I like, that I actually started to get some answers into what I wanted to do with my life. So step number 1 is to make sure that you create the space. You switch from a reactive mindset to a proactive mindset. And I found the best time to do that is on a Sunday afternoon, because come Sunday evening, I would get the Sunday jitters and start worrying about my career, and I would just go into a bad space. Okay, so step number 2 is I want you to write down what you want. And when you're writing it down, you need to realize that you're writing on paper and not stone. I say this to all of our Life Accelerator members all the time. The Life Accelerator is a premium offering we have that helps you figure out what you want to do with your life and then go execute on it. I say this to all of our members all the time because so often, and it happened to me too, we would be scared of just writing down a goal. We'd be scared like it might be wrong, and then I go down that path and I might be wrong, and then everyone's gonna think I'm an idiot because I committed to that. Like, look, you need to realize that you're coming from a place of no plan, nothing written down. And if you actually write something down, it's on paper, which means that you can cross it out, you can rewrite it, you can throw it out and start afresh. You can do anything. You're not really committing to anything except for the fact that you're writing down a theory, a thesis of a strategy for your life. And it's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to write 5 different answers to the same question of what do I want to do with life, and then spend time to figure out, well, which one's right and which one's wrong, which one's for me, and how do I learn more about it? The beauty of this is because you've written it down, let's just say 6 months go by and you spend time really exploring it, you can actually go back to it and look at it and say, well, do I cross it out or throw it out, or do I create a better version of it? You can actually tether yourself to that plan, to that strategy, and keep iterating on it and get better and better in creating your life plan. Okay, before I go any further, let's just pause here for a second. Can I get like an OMG? Oh my God. If you're getting that feeling that a lot of our Life Accelerator people get, if you're getting that feeling like, oh my God, I like totally didn't make room for this, I didn't make time for this, I just got overwhelmed, then holy shit, you're right, I'm just writing on paper and it's not stone. It's totally okay to write a bunch of stuff down and then start crossing it out. Can I just get an OMG in the comments? Because I want others to realize how much they hold themselves back. I held myself back. I wanted to get that perfect answer to that perfect question. I wanted to get it right on the first try. And what I realized is it's paper. You can throw it out if it's wrong, but you can learn more and you can tether yourself to it, and that's where the power comes from. So comment below, write OMG, exclamation mark, because I want to hear from you. So let's go back to where we are. So step number one was you kind of create the space, you switch from being reactive to proactive. Step number two is you start writing some stuff down. Like, what do I want to do with life? I don't know, here's 10 ideas. You start to write them down. It's not on stone, it's on paper. Now here's where step number three comes in. I talk to a lot of people that are trying to figure out different avenues and different options, and they're all over the place. And you're probably gonna be all over the place, and that's okay. But that's why this step three is super powerful. This step three gives you the two characteristics you need to look for to evaluate every single idea you have around what you want to spend your life on. The best things to spend your life on have two characteristics, okay? The first characteristic is what you love and are good at. These are things that you are passionate about and capable in. And look, you don't have to be great at it right now, but you can get good at it because you can put in the hours and the time to get good at it, okay? And you don't have to be passionate about it right away, but guess what? If you're good at something, you get passionate about it real fast. So it's the combination of those two things that make up this bucket right here, which is what you love and are good at. The second characteristic that you need to have is not about you, but about what others care about and what society cares about. So it's a little bit more external. The first one is internal. What do you love and are good at? The second one is external. It has nothing to do with you. And that is what others need and pay for. So often, we become dissatisfied with our lives, our careers, everything, because we tend to over-index on one or the other. We tend to over-index on a high-paying finance job. I did this, and I was completely unhappy in it. I wasn't passionate about it. I didn't love it. I was pretty good at it, but I didn't love it. On the flip side, I've done startups that no one ever wanted. Startup ideas that just didn't take off. Before I started ToutApp, I had two other ideas that I was experimenting with, which no one wanted, and ToutApp took over like this. In those cases, I over-indexed on what I cared about. I ignored the fact that other people didn't need it, they didn't want to pay for it, and I just focused on what you love and are good at. Well, I love those ideas and I was good at it, and I just put it out there and no one cared and no one paid and it didn't work. When you start to focus in on your ideas and you start to find this middle ground where it's what you love and are good at and what others need and pay for, when you're in this zone, at that point, you're friggin' unstoppable. And the reason you're unstoppable is you're working on something you love and you're good at and you're gonna get great at, and others need it and are willing to pay for it. Can you imagine a better thing to spend your life on? Isn't that freaking amazing? Once I started to evaluate all of my ideas and what I want to spend my life on through this specific set of characteristics, it was a game changer for me. And so to recap, number one thing you need to do, figure out what you want to do with your life, is create the space for it. Switch from being in reactive mode to a proactive mode. And the second thing you need to do is actually realize you're writing on paper and not on stone, and not be afraid of writing a thesis down, a potential strategy down, to tether yourself to it, spend a few months figuring it out and exploring it, and then coming back and tweaking it. And number three, you need to filter it based on these two characteristics. You want to be in this middle zone, this unstoppable zone, which is what you love and are good at and what others need and are willing to pay for. Now you know the 3 steps to follow to get clarity into what you want to do with your life. But what you don't know is exactly the questions to ask yourself to go through these steps, or how to actually execute on a plan once you actually set a direction so you can go figure out if this is the right path for you. Luckily for you, we created the Unstoppable Life Accelerator. The Unstoppable Life Accelerator is an end-to-end program, and it gives you everything you need to figure out where you are, switch from that reactive mode to that proactive mode, figure out where you want to go 5 years from now, using these steps and a whole bunch of other questions, and then actually execute on that plan using what we call unstoppable challenges. If you're interested in that, there's a link below. Learn more about our Unstoppable Life Accelerator. Would love to have you join. It's been amazing with the people that have been joining that program. And lastly, if you liked this video and found it helpful, please hit the like button. It means a lot to me and everyone that works to make these videos possible. If you know of a friend that could use this video, please share it. There are so many people out there that are trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives. And if you really got value out of it, please also write yes in the comments below. That way I know that this helped you. And lastly, if you want to ask me questions or you want to continue this conversation, hit me up on Instagram at @TKKader and just DM me. Seriously, just DM me, because I answer every single DM that comes into our inbox. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you have, and we can continue the conversation around this video. And remember, Everyone needs a strategy for their life, but yours is gonna be unstoppable. I'm TK, and I'll see you next Sunday.